plant it and they will come. The bees and the pollinators.
Planting buckwheat and sunflowers on July 14th. Lyle gets to dry for a while since the air conditioner doesn't work.
One month later, you can see the buckwheat's in pretty much full bloom. On the right is our first planting. We planted in 3 successive plantings. So you got the first planting, second planting, third planting way over. And the bees are loving this buckwheat. A couple weeks later, the second crop is in bloom. Second planting is in bloom, and the first sunflowers starting to bloom. Week later, sunflowers are bigger, starting to bloom. So now it's been approximately 2 months, and we have sunflowers, and you can still see the last of the buckwheat blooming. In September, these 3 plantings gave bees plenty of food for the month of September and October. We have a farm lane adjacent to this field. We have corn planted next to it. And on September 11th, the butterflies, the monarch butterflies, were thick in this windbreak. Our feeling is, with all the food around, the butterflies were migrating and resting in the arborvitae trees. You can see the goldenrod's in full bloom right now. And this video does not do justice for what the amount of butterflies that were flying. There was hundreds of butterflies in these arborvitaes. I drove my truck and held my camera out the window to get these shots. I guess I'm going to have to get a GoPro or a dash cam to get this video, but lots and lots of monarch butterflies. This lane's about a 1/4 mile long. It goes between 2 farms that we farm, so we don't have to drive on the road all the time. So with trees there, the crops don't like growing there too well, so we've left it for the pollinators. Now we're into mid-September. The first batch of sunflowers are kind of peeking out.
The goldenrod is in bloom, and the honeybees are loving it today. Saturday, 16th. We also have jewelweed in bloom in this patch. And like I continue to tell people, if you plant it, they will come. You just need the right flowers and quantity for the bees to love. We have this not huge patch growing in our meadow here at our house. And it's full of bees today in full bloom.
You can see it's not only honeybees, but bumblebees in our flowers. The bumblebees really love this jewelweed. I know the honeybees do get in it, but it was definitely full of bumblebees this day. They crawl all the way inside the flower, and all of a sudden they pop out. So might be why the bees don't like it. I know when the bees do get in there, their backs are covered with pollen. They have a big old pollen lump on their back. This is a bumblebee that we found in a squash blossom one morning, about the same time. The end of September, we have the asters out. This is a small patch of asters at the end of our driveway growing in the cornfield. You can see the corn stalks back there. it missed the Roundup spray at least twice and missed the lawnmower and grew right in the field. It's a huge patch, probably just a few plants, but it did grow. Again, honeybees, bumblebees, some flies. And then further up the driveway, as we go up towards our house, we have a patch that's been there for years that is a light blue that's coming up here. So lots of bees in these asters when they were in full bloom. Another time where you just step out of the truck and you can hear the buzzing of all the insects in there. You can see in one screenshot you can get 4 bees. This is the purple up the driveway a little further. It was blooming approximately the same time. Again, bumblebees, honeybees, all sharing. Now we get to the first week in October, and back down the same lane, the butterflies were migrating again. We were taking out soybeans on the adjacent farm, and I came through here with the tractor and stirred them up, so we went back for a drive. This day it was in the mid-70s, so I think it was the last of the monarchs migrating. I didn't see too many after this. You can see the goldenrod's pretty much finished. The asters are in full bloom, and again, the windbreak is just full of monarch butterflies. So not only did we have sunflowers in bloom, but the neighbor had a cover crop of clover, probably 70 acres or so of medium red clover that I'm sure the butterflies were in. I didn't go over to check to see how many were over there, but I'm sure there were butterflies in that clover. So lots of food here, resting up in the windbreak so they can fly when it's nice. You can see it was a nice sunny day this day. Corn's getting riper on the right-hand side of the screen. Of course, lots of white asters and goldenrod where we don't mow. Where we're driving usually gets mowed. We have shorter clovers growing in there. Usually Dutch white, clover, and Alsac. Now, the last batch of sunflowers are blooming middle of October. Trees are starting to turn.